So, today, guys, I'm talking to Shaulyn, who's the manager of the Devonport Business Association. Shaulyn came into the role late last year or early this year, so she's really jumped into the fire, really. So we're talking to her a few weeks into this, or a couple of months really, into this COVID problem, and what the Devonport Business Association is doing to overcome what is clearly a challenging period. So welcome, Shaulyn.
Thank you for having me, Aidan.
No problem, no problem. So the first thing, I guess, is what is the sort of level of issues that have resulted in the Devonport Business Association area or the retail area down there? What are the things that you've seen have resulted from COVID?
So, I mean, I first have to say that I think the community of Devonport, both business, both businesses, business owners, landlords, have really all to come together as a community and recognize this as a, not only a global, but a community type of issue. And, it was very humbling and amazing to see how our business community came together, but also our online community, of local residents came together, with this initial, as we went into level 4, sentiment and emotional support for these businesses that, when they came out on the backside, whatever this was going to look like, that our community, our residents were going to have their back. As we came up through level 3, it was amazing to see all of our hospitality businesses who chose to reopen and offer takeaways, etc., that they were able to do so. And again, seeing plans on local social media pages of those in the community who still needed to maintain kind of that no travel type of and stay home type of guideline, that they were supporting local. As we come up through level 2, 3 and 2, where businesses were allowed to open with social distancing, contact tracing, it's been absolutely amazing to see that 99% at least of our businesses have reopened their doors. The community has continued to support local and come out in droves. I've been able to have conversations that perhaps I wasn't able to have going into COVID because of how new that I was. Conversations with business owners and staff to saying how grateful that they are for the support. Now, so from an impact standpoint, here we are at level 2, and we do see 99% of our doors open, and with, being hopeful that those few that may have not opened yet will do so again or have the opportunity to do so again. But what we're going to have to do is we're really going to have to take a look and be mindful, not at present what that looks like, but what this is going to look like 2 to 3 months down the road. Devonport really is a community that does have its challenges in winter. We do have our challenges with, say, lack of tourism, lack of cruise ships, etc. And so it's really going to be being mindful and continuing to work with our community and our community groups to share the messages of those businesses so that we can continue to support and sustain them throughout the winter.
Yeah, now you had quite a good, or you did a lot of work, I know, during that lockdown period on your Shop Local campaign. Lovely branding, and you got that out very early, didn't you? So what other initiatives, as well as that, is the Devonport Business Association doing to stimulate business for your retailers and hospo members?
So I think what we're doing is, as you mentioned, we have our Shop Local campaign, which is very strategic in showing who it is, the markets and the niches that we have available in the community. Because again, from the day-to-day perspective, it's going to be our residents that continue to shop, and letting them know who it is available here in the community, in the local bid area, that they can shop with, that perhaps they may not have known about in between. So we will continue to ramp up and be very strategic and deliberate in that Shop Local campaign. In addition to that, I think we have, time is going to tell, and I think the next 2 weeks are going to be very telling as to what it is, our winter, what we can offer in the winter, and subsequently in the spring, moving into summer, what it is that we can offer in terms of gatherings, events, things like that. We do have opportunities with our coming into July with events such as Matariki, and what we can deliver in around the community as it pertains to that. But we also do have, just naturally and organically here in Devonport, we do have, kind of a spring heavy typical calendar with events such as Glow, Friday After 5, those types of events. We can still take a look at what those may look like. Unfortunately, we have to, and we're at the mercy of government guidelines at the moment. And we'll be reviewing that in the coming months. But I think the idea is we're taking a look at the moment on how we can deliver, in some way, shape, or form, positive community type of events, while being mindful of, certain anxieties and fears that may come from people being out in public, out at these type of events, and social distancing. So we're weighing those factors.
Yes, yeah. So obviously, we're encouraging New Zealanders to get out and see the country. Are you hopeful also that you might see? There's obviously a lot of people going to places like Rotorua and Queenstown. Are you hopeful of seeing people come to Auckland from other parts, and how do we attract them to Devonport and other parts of the shore? Do you think? Do you have a plan for that, or?
So obviously, I think we need to we need to maintain and ramp up that online presence, and we need to ramp it up kind of in language that speaks to, in language and in images that speak to Kiwis. Perhaps we're not at the moment advertising to an international market. We're advertising to our own, and there are those many destinations that they have to choose from, but we want to take a look and utilize our online platforms, utilize the stories of our business owners, and the history behind our businesses and our beautiful village, because we do have a lot of history in the village of Devonport. We want to be able to utilize that and share it with not only a local or regional, but a national market in an online capacity, to be able to bring traffic to our shores.
Yeah, the America's Cup, it's still on at the moment, isn't it? So that'll be great for your area, because obviously there's, I think there's 3 of the courses are quite close to North Head and Devonport, aren't they? So that'll be a shot in the arm late this year and early next year.
Yeah, and I think we're very excited about that, and to see how how that's going to roll out, what that's going to look like. I mean, again, I think the next 3 weeks are going to be extremely telling as to what that will look like. But even advertising and promoting our shores, and that potential course visibility from a number of the destinations, North Head, some of the beaches, etc. Here in Devonport, I think it's an exciting time, an exciting opportunity that we can share our shores with people who may not have otherwise considered visiting.
I think there's I think the good thing you've got in Devonport too is it's a very, very loyal community, isn't it? So I can see the Devonport people getting out and really supporting their local businesses. And there's obviously people down that way who are probably used to travelling. That won't be something they can do internationally. So hopefully they're going to come down and open up their wallets and spend it all in the Devonport Business Association area there. And you've got some pretty good initiatives going on there. The wharf is looking good with the new hospo places down there. And I live in Takapuna, and I love going down to Devonport, and I spend quite a bit of money down there actually, which is good for Devonport, eating out. Yeah. And I've got to confess, I go once we can get my face tended to by the guys at Skin Sense down there as well. So I spend a bit of money with them. So I think we need to be pretty optimistic, don't we, about the future down there. It's obviously going to be a tough period over the next sort of year to 18 months. But if we can get through that and all work together, I can see a good future for Devonport. It must be exciting with that new playground or the upgraded playground opening. It's taken a while to build, but when that opens up, I'm sure it's going to draw people down there as well.
Yeah, I mean, you've hit on a lot of things. I mean, number one, so I mean, yes, we're very much looking forward to that. That playground opening, it offers, you know, just an added demographic of bringing families in while they've traveled, to bring them across, in addition to our, you know, our amazing library. It gives the, you know, children something to do and people a place to sit by the water and eat the, you know, from the cafes, etc., have their takeaways. But, you know, you just touched on the idea of, you know, we do have the potential, I think, you know, nationwide, but globally, you know, we don't know what this is going to look like rolling out. But the residents of Devonport have been extremely generous and kind and supporting of their local businesses. They understand what this may look like, and I've heard a number of stories from kind of hospitality who utilized SOS Cafe, people coming in and saying, you know, we bought a voucher, but we're not going to use that. You know, we just want to see the longevity of this and our community. You know, we've got people shopping in our retailers, and I think it speaks volumes about the kindness and compassion and the quality of people that we have here in Devonport, and whether, you know, they've been here for generations or whether they've just moved into the community, they've done so deliberately, and they're looking forward. They see the value in that community, and they want to see it thrive.
Yeah, cool. Well, nice to chat to you, Shaulyn, and talk through all of those things. I know you're doing a great job, and I obviously sit on the Devonport Business Association in my role with the local board, so I enjoy that, and I know there's lots of you know, innovative people and people who are keen to see Devonport thrive on that board. So thanks for the chat. It's great to catch up, and we'll spot you later.
Thanks, Aidan. Have a great day.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.